video, we are going over IXL checkpoint polynomials operations 2B7. So I'm going to let you guys know a couple things. This checkpoint covers all things polynomials. The one thing that we haven't seen since when you took Algebra 1 are some of the vocab words of polynomials, whether they become binomials, trinomials, whether they're closed or not closed. If you get questions like that, which you will in the beginning, just take a guess. It's okay if you don't get to the appropriate SMART score. What I'm going for here is the amount of minutes that you try to attempt. So after this, we are closing out our polynomials review, and we're going to switch to another one. So just so you guys know. So let me go ahead and do a couple of examples. You're going to see everything. We're going to be multiplying polynomials, adding and subtracting them. So there's different rules. So let's go ahead and try this one. Find the product. Well, we have to know what product means in the first place, and that means to multiply. So in order to find the product, we need to use our distribute and simplify. So let's go ahead and distribute 7p to the third times p to the fourth. Well, let's just do the big numbers first. 7 times 1 is 7. P to the third times p to the fourth. Well, it's p, but when you multiply your bases, you add your cute little exponents. So that's actually p to the seventh. All right, 7p to the third times 2p to the negative 2. Ooh, I almost missed that. So let's go ahead and do the big numbers first. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. P to the third times p to the second is p to the fifth. Because when you multiply your bases, which is those p's, you add your cute little exponents. All right, so that one's done. Now let's do this one. P times p to the fourth. Now, we know it's the letter p. However, when we're going to multiply bases, we have to add our exponents. But this first one doesn't have one. Well, it's actually an invisible 1. So we're going to do 1 plus 4, which is also 5. That they are trying to trick you. Okay? Questions like this are really testing your skills and that you know all of your integer rules and your polynomial rules and how to multiply and your exponent rules. It's a lot in one question. All right, so then we have p times negative 2p to the second. So we know it's negative 2. Told you, one step at a time. Now let's do p to the first times p to the second. Well, that's p to the third. Now we've got to look at some like terms. So we have 7p to the seventh. Well, there's all of these, yes, they have the letter p on them, but we're looking for something that has the same identical to it. So we're looking for another p to the seventh. Well, none of these have them, so he doesn't have any like terms. All right, let's do negative 14p to the fifth. So we go down the line if there's anything that also has a p to the fifth. And there is. There's that one. And then our very last one, we'll do pink, is this negative 2p to the third. There's no more p to the third, so he is by himself. All right, so let's go ahead. So we have 7p to the seventh. Now, this time we are adding. So when we add, we don't change the variable. That's going to stay p to the fifth. We just have to add negative 14 plus 1, which is negative 13. And then we just have this negative 2p to the third at the end. Now, if you wrote 7p to the seventh minus 13p to the fifth, that's fine. I just did a plus negative. It works either way. All right, so this one's a doozy. Now, when we have something that's adding, if we are just adding polynomials, we can just straight up pretend that these parentheses do not matter. They don't matter. I'm not really sure why they're here. Well, we do. We're trying to distribute the others too. But we can just completely ignore them. We can go straight to the step that is combining like terms. All right, so let's do z to the third. So go down the line, and I'm going to see if there's anything with z to the third on it. And there isn't. He's by himself. So let's do another one. Green. Z to the second. So I'm going to go down the line and see if there's any more z. Oh, here's one. A z to the second. Okay, let's pick another color. 4z. Oh, we did gray. So we're going to go down the line to see if there's anything with just a z, and there is. There's a -9. Please do not forget those negatives, okay? They are attached to the numbers. And then our very last one, we'll do in a cloud, which is -8 and -3. They are like terms. So let's go ahead and combine them. So he's by himself. We have z to the third. Now let's do our green ones. -7 plus 1 is -6z to the second. We'll do our triangles. 4 minus 9 is -5, and our variable stays the same because we're adding. And then -8 plus -3 is -11. So this would be your final answer. It is some work. All right, well, we're going to do this one last one. This one is a little bit different. When we have the word subtract, it works pretty similar to addition. However, when we have a little negative sign that we're subtracting, that negative sign is actually going to change all of these signs. Okay, because we're actually going to distribute a negative. And when that happens, it just changes their signs. So I'm just going to start from the beginning and rewrite it. So we have -a to the third plus 6a to the second minus 6a minus 9. Now, instead of -a to the second, it just turns into a +a to the second. Instead of plus 7a, it's minus 7a. When you distribute a negative, it just changes everything behind it only. All right, so now we're going to do our like terms like we always have. So we have -a to the third. Go down the line. I don't see any more a to the thirds. Let's do a to the seconds. Here's another a to the second. Let's do just, we'll just do just a's. Here is one that's just a. And then our last one, I don't know what color I haven't done. Just do orange. Then we have this -9. He's just by himself. All right, so we have -a to the third. So we did our purple squares. Now let's do our blue circles. We have 6a to the second plus 1a to the second. So 7a. Then let's do our clouds. We have, oh, sorry, forgot my second. -6a minus 7 more. That is -13a. And then we just have this -9. So that is your final answer. It takes some time. I'm just going for timing for this one, so you don't have to worry about a SMART score. But yeah.